Closed deals. According to some sources, the DMs were more than simply a way to flirt. That to impress Remy. Tony allegedly floated Claressa's name, implying that he could get her into exclusive boxing events, exclusive rooms, and brand agreements, basically, showing off access that he didn't acquire. If accurate, this indicates Tony wasn't only emotionally betraying Claressa, he was using her career to further his own influence. That is parasitic, not merely disorganized. Naturally, the outcry from the public was more devastating than any blow that Claressa had delivered. A supporter wrote, "Claressa is fighting opponents in the ring while Tony is out here fighting temptation in the DMs and losing." Those screenshots would cause a stir. And they did blow up. Remy Ma didn't even need bars to ruin this man, someone else said, 3 letters only DM. The worst answer, however, was apparently given by an unnamed boxing promoter, who stated, "We don't book cheaters." Tony simply blew his mind if he believed he was going to become a star brand. Papoose, Remy Ma's husband and a hip-hop and loyalty icon, began to gain popularity as well. He is famous for penning love letters to his wife while she was incarcerated. Memes, such as Papoose pulling up on Tony Rich like it's round 12 inches, were shared on his social media accounts by fans. "Someone tell Tony Rich that Papoose doesn't fight in the ring," one person even commented. "He engages in calm gentlemen." In a narrative where Papoose is the Avengers, no one wants to be the bad guy. While everyone was captivated by the direct messages, another viewpoint began to emerge. So let's now discuss the extravagant spending accusations. Tony Rich is accused of embezzling money from Claressa's brand partnerships and using it to fund his side projects. According to sources, he has been spending money on fancy outfits, expensive watches, and wait for IT private meetings in Miami. According to one very delicious leak, he used a fictitious identity to reserve a 5-star suite. Guess who, according to sources, was expected to arrive? You're correct, Remy Ma. Regardless of Remy's actual attendance, the fact that these rumors even bat in real life, and believe me, women indexist, is sufficient to completely destroy the internet. Fans of Claressa are incensed. They believe that Tony is ruining her career at a time when she should be concentrating entirely on her upcoming battle. In addition to making her feel embarrassed, the boxing world is already a hive of activity. Sports podcast commentators are offering their opinions as if they were contributing to a pre-fight analysis. "Claressa doesn't need distractions," one person stated. "Tony must leave if he is engaging in such an act, period." Another cautioned that she would lose millions of endorsements as a result. Unless your Kanye brands detest messy drama. And what do you know? They're not incorrect. Such scandals don't unlight a sapper. They remain, they leave stains, and they return to haunt every headline and press conference. Photos of Claressa working out in sweat-soaked gyms as Tony supposedly messages Remy Ma from the VIP lounge are already appearing side by side on gossip blogs. There is no stronger contrast. The most startling development, though, was perhaps the appearance of a purportedly leaked audio tape. The internet has never been deterred by the clip, which may or may not be real. "Claressa is great, but she's too focused on her." A voice purportedly belonging to Tony can be heard saying, "Profession. Someone who prioritizes me is what I need." It's a smoking gun if that's real. Even if it's a fake, it's enough to make Twitter go crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, we have officially entered the stage of the controversy, when the lines between fact and fiction are blurred to the point where it is impossible to distinguish between the two. And that's precisely how people ruin their reputations. Here we are, then. The reputation of Tony Rich was destroyed. Claressa's faith is in jeopardy. For all the wrong reasons, Remy's name is trending. Papoose, on the other hand, is looming in the background, like a thundercloud thought is about to blow. What comes next though? Because scandals aren't limited to hashtags and screenshots. They go in a spiral. They become worse. They develop into a serious crisis. Just wait till you hear about the aftermath, potential legal proceedings, and industry-wide repercussions that are already hanging over Tony Rich's head. If you thought the public reactions were crazy, ladies and gentlemen, Tony isn't only going through shame if these leaks are even partially accurate. He may be the subject of inquiries. This is the point at which the tale takes its darkest turn. Scandals aren't limited to the internet, ladies and gentlemen. They don't simply become popular for a day and then go. No, when deceit and treachery meet at this point, the like wildfire, fallout spreads into boardrooms, locker rooms, contracts, and courts, as well as Tony Rich. He will soon discover the hard way that you can't play games with the GW and hope to escape with nothing, because others outside of the internet were also watching after those direct messages were exposed. According to reports, Tony's financial situation was investigated right away by Claressa Shields' legal team. Why? Because you recall the accusations that he was using her endorsement money to fund opulent side projects. As it happens, that might not be just rumors. According to sources, detectives are currently looking through dubious activities connected to Tony's identity, such as many wire transfers to shell businesses in Vegas and Miami. There are even rumors that he may have used Claressa's accounts without getting her express permission. If accurate, that is deception as well as treachery, and there are repercussions for deception. Lawsuits, possible criminal charges, and perhaps Claressa excluding him from all of their business dealings, are all on the table. Imagine becoming a defendant in court after being a successful businesswoman's fiancé, all because you were unable to ignore Remy Ma's direct messages. That is now Tony Rich's reality. However, the financial storm didn't end there. The public's outrage erupted when Papoose eventually took into the discussion. Fans noted that he shared a mysterious Instagram story with the comment, "Real men don't sneak, they stand tall." Even though he didn't explicitly disclose anything, allegiance or nothing. No names were given, but really, who else would that be directed at? It was instantly taken by the hip-hop culture as a direct warning to Tony Rich. Claressa's camp remained extremely quiet in the meantime, which, as we all know, typically indicates that plans are being hatched behind the scenes. According to insiders, Tony was expelled from Claressa's training group. No one has seen him ringside. He hasn't shown up in pictures of the couple together or during her workouts. Have inexplicably disappeared from her social media accounts. Claressa is angry, but she's saving her response. One acquaintance, who wished to remain unnamed, even remarked, "The internet will tremble when she speaks." Do you understand what that implies, ladies and gentlemen? We are going to see the ultimate form of retaliation. It's not Art Claressa's style to cry live on Instagram. In the ring and in life, she is the kind of person that throws devastating blows. Imagine her stating to the media, "I'm undefeated in boxing, and I'll be undefeated in life," as she enters her next news conference. "I no longer have Tony Rich on my side." The internet would be split in two by just one sentence. Remember, too, that brands are also keeping an eye on things. Based on a leak according to an internal document from one of Claressa's sponsors, officials are already discussing whether to halt partnerships with Tony. "We cannot afford the publicity of being associated with a cheating incident," according to one insider. "Tony, we drop. Claressa, we keep." Savage, but business is business, you know. Let's zoom out for a moment now. Not only do scandals like these ruin relationships, but they also have an impact on entire sectors. Boxing insiders are concerned about the potential impact of this distraction on Claire's upcoming major contest. It is referred to by some as a mental test that is more difficult than any physical opponent. Some others think it points to inspiration to produce a performance that will define your career. In any case, her gloves aren't the only item in the limelight now. It concerns her private life. And that's precisely what players detest and promoters adore. In the meantime, Tony Rich's reputation is formally in ruins. Previously regarded as a helpful spouse and astute businessman, he is currently in the news as the fiancé who failed the GWAT. Fans are treating his name like a warning tale. Blogs are making fun of him, and memes are making fun of him. It was neatly summed up in one viral tweet. In less than a day, Tony Rich went from being Mr. Claressa Shields to becoming Mr. Nobody. This is when things become even more gloomy. Legal professionals are suggesting that if Tony and Claressa even make her angry.
Watch the daily videos on my channel Star Faults. Don't forget to press the bell icon. Please like this video and subscribe so you never miss our daily updates. Thanks for watching, and remember